Welcome back to Chelsea Explain, as this is your match preview for tomorrow's game against the rock bottom side Wolves, and we're facing them at their ground. They are currently sitting with only 8 points and 1 victory so far, and it's looking likely they heading down to Championship. We should go there and pick up 3 points and continue the great run we have now in Premier League in the beginning of Liam Rosenior's era. The main talking point of this video is I want to discuss what Liam Rosenior said in his press conference, where he was asked whether he has a best 11 or not. So before we dive any further into this match preview and my predicted lineups and all this kind of stuff, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my page, and hit that notification bell down below. Liam Rosenior answered this question by saying that he doesn't see football as having a best 11. He likes to start with one team, 1-11, and then finish with another 11. Also picks the lineup depending on the tactics and system he wants to deploy, depending on the opponents. I have mixed thoughts around it. If we're starting with having a best 11, what is the benefits with that? Well, it's obviously that you know the players that suits your system the best. You know which pairing you're gonna have at center back and in the pivot. You know which players combines well with each other. You can quickly build continuity, consistency, chemistry and partnership throughout the team. Quickly get into great momentum and get victories, because you're playing players that suits each other, that suits the system. They're playing the best roles, positions, and if you're chopping and changing often, that chemistry and partnership can get interrupted, and it can take longer time for certain players to build understanding within the system and with each other as well. And I think that is something that both of these sides have their positives and negatives. The top sides rotate heavily. Just look at, for example, Manchester City. They're not having the same 11 every game. I'm someone who prefers to blend both. I like to have your main core players, but I also understand what Liam Rosenior is saying, and I agree to that extent. That you should also have some sort of meritocracy where you're picking players that deserves to play and that is right for the opponents you're facing also, so you can be a bit tactical, flexible. And the positive with it is that you have a sort of open field for every player to have a chance of getting minutes and game time. You don't have any favoritism throughout the team, that you're, for example, playing players no matter how their form is. So you can both be flexible in terms of picking players that is in great form, that deserves them to get game time, and at times you can also be flexible and change up maybe a striker, for example a Delap. You're starting him because you're facing an opponent with a high line. Maybe you have pacey wingers a certain game. You want your spine in terms of maybe your starting goalkeeper, a center back pairing, one fullback maybe starting very often, as well as a pivot and a couple of forwards, and then you can maybe rotate 3-4 players here and there, and also have this meritocracy. Of course, if someone isn't performing whatsoever and is completely out of form, then you should pick someone else so that everyone can feel that they have an opportunity, because otherwise you're simply gonna get players that is unhappy, and you will have favorites throughout the team. And personally, I don't like having favorites whatsoever. I understand both worlds, and I think in modern day football, a game every third day almost. It's difficult to play the same 11 week in, week out. And let's not forget, we also had Club World Cup in the summer. A lot of these players barely got any rest. in the summer they're gonna play World Cup and the format is expanded. But I will say also, if you want it to work, you also need owners and sporting directors backing you, because you also need to have players to select from that is simply suiting what you want to achieve with your system. If you want, for example, to adopt a meritocracy where you're playing someone that deserves to play, but at the same time they're not suiting your style whatsoever, then it becomes a clash there. If we summarize it, for me, I like to have a main core as much as possible throughout the spine of the team, and you can also be a bit flexible. You can also rotate depending on opponents, and you can also allow meritocracy to happen, obviously, if someone isn't performing. But you also need the backing from the ones above to get the maximum out of this way of picking your 11. What is then Chelsea's best 11? Please let me know, guys, in the comments down below. I'm going to show you here maybe what it is now. Colwell is out injured, otherwise I would probably pick him. We also have Lavia to choose from. I mean, Esteban is someone that also obviously could start here, but he's a number 10, he's a right wing. Who do you then change? Maybe move Fernandez to the pivot, take out Santos, you put in Palmer in the number 10 spot, and Esteban at right wing. But maybe our best 11, if Rosenior were to go for it, is Sanchez, James, Fofana, Chalobah, Cucurella, Santos, Caicedo, Fernandez, Palmer, Neto, and João Pedro. In terms of the predicted lineup then against Wolves, I have made a few changes. Don't attack me yet, please. I know Garnacho is in the 11. I know I should be ashamed of myself, which I am. Neto and James is doubtful because they were rested. We see what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, they had some sort of knock, didn't pass the medical test. Personally, I think they're fit. I just think they were rested and we being overly cautious. And they're going to start. But this is the 11 in case they won't feature. So we have Sanchez in goal. Gusta coming in. We continue with the center back pairing of Fofana and Chalobah. I don't really trust Badiashile at the moment, and I don't know if Mamadou Sarr, who we brought back, a recall from his loan spell Strasbourg, is ready. I would rather start him against Hull, who we have next weekend in the FA Cup. Cucurella at left back, Santos and Caicedo as pivot pairing. I'm resting Fernandez because I want to add someone who is more agile, is more pacey, has better movement in the final third, a stronger attacking threat, and that is João Pedro in the number 10 role, who is flanked by Garnacho, Palmer, and the Lap up front. The Lap who can occupy the defenders, attack the box. And we have Palmer, Pedro combining in the half space, as Gusto overlapping on the right hand side, Garnacho stretching the left hand side, because Neto is out, Gittens is out, we sold alone Tyreek George. Who are we going to play as a left winger? I think we should give Garnacho a shot against Wolves, maybe he can build up his confidence again. Or do you think we should start Esteban there or someone else? In terms of Wolves, they're gonna sit back in a 3-5-2. Although under the new manager, they can be brave and press forward and try to be brave in possession, because they simply got nothing to lose. I mean, they're sitting in championship already, basically. If they're going to press us high and be aggressive, they're going to be killed, because that's what Liam Rosenior want to bait opponents to press, to then exploit the spaces with combinations, third man runs, through balls. So if all sitting back in a low block, maybe parking the bus, limiting us getting through, is going to be very difficult. That's why it's very important with scoring the first goal, being brave and having many players attacking the box and arriving late out the edge of the box. Get that first goal so Wolves open up, and then everything will be simple. We're gonna slide through them, and my score prediction is Chelsea winning 4-0. Let me know yours in the comments down below, and thank you so much for watching. See you for the match review after, and I'm out. Bye.